Next, from Springfield, we talk with Mark Biel, the executive director of the Illinois Chemical Industry Council. We hear what he says about the coming wave of new oil and gas exploration in southern Illinois and what it may mean for jobs and the economy in that region of the state. This runs about 15 minutes.
Mark Biel with the Chemical Industry Council of Illinois. Thanks for joining us again on the Illinois Channel. We recently, back in the spring, the state of Illinois passed a bill that is going to allow the development of fracking in the state on a larger scale than what it had been heretofore. And a lot of people that we have talked to about this think that for a variety of reasons this might be a game changer for the state, certainly for the local economy of southern Illinois. But in a larger context too, we wanted to hear some of the developments that what does this mean to your members, to the chemical industry, and what are you hearing as far as the development of what has already happened in some of the other states, and we might be able to extrapolate maybe some conclusions of what this could conceivably mean for Illinois. So what's been the experience of some of the chemical industry as far as, let's say, the Bakken field in North Dakota?
Well, what the Bakken field has done, Terry, is it's opened up tremendous opportunity for natural gas to be brought to the marketplace. As a result, it's dramatically changed the price. As recently as let me go back, sorry, Terry. As recently as 2008, the price of natural gas was $13 per unit. At that time, companies from the United States, chemical companies, were fleeing the country and looking to invest elsewhere. Since that time, since the advent of fracking, the price has been as low as $1.90 in April of 2012, and currently is $3.50. Companies are coming back to the United States in great numbers. Over $85 billion worth of investment has been announced in the chemical industry in the United States in the last 2 years, more than has been announced in the previous 20. It's a significant improvement in opportunity. What it means for Illinois is, number one, lower natural gas prices, substantially lower natural gas prices. In addition to that, what it's meant is that natural gas is used to produce electricity in a number of places. It's driven down the price of electricity. And so for industrial companies in Illinois who use a lot of electricity, right now we're paying about 4 cents a kilowatt hour, where many of our competitors in other states who are in regulated markets for electricity are paying 8 cents. So we've got about a 50% cost advantage over them. And so we've got a substantial advantage from a manufacturing perspective. Natural gas is we use it for two purposes in the chemical industry. It is a feedstock for making plastics and fertilizers and other products. In addition, it's used for firing our boilers. And when you can buy natural gas at $3.50 when your competitors in Japan are paying $16, or in Europe they're paying $13, you get a significant advantage. And to put it in perspective for Illinois' chemical industry, in 2007, exports out of Illinois from the chemical industry were $5 billion. We've gone through arguably the nastiest recession in most of our lifetimes. Exports now are $8.5 billion in 2011. So we've seen a 70% increase in exports from the state of Illinois, all natural gas driven. Average wage in my industry is $90,000. We're the Cadillac of blue-collar jobs, and all I see is good things ahead. What I think fracking means for southern Illinois is if southern Illinois has half the level of success that they have in North Dakota. In North Dakota, it's been just a tremendous opportunity for them. What it will mean is this tremendous opportunity as far as jobs down in that area. Not only for roughnecks as far as putting wells in place, but for transportation as far as truckers moving product in and out. And what they'll be primarily looking for in southern Illinois is going to be oil. Because with oil at $100 a barrel right now, it makes sense to look for oil. But when you're looking for oil, what happens in many cases is part of that you get a natural gas byproduct that's also produced. It's just a natural occurrence. And what it means is that when this natural gas byproduct is produced, it's used by the chemical industry, and what we do is we strip out the ethane, which then becomes the building block for plastics and then goes into a whole host of other products. About 85% of all products products manufactured in the United States either use chemical products or are enhanced by chemical products, and virtually all of them are built on natural gas.
You mentioned the other day in a conversation we had off camera that, and you just referenced something, but you used the term wet natural gas.
Correct.
I had never heard that term before,
Yeah.
or I think a lot of people didn't know that there were two kinds of natural
Right.
gas.
Yeah.
And the wet natural gas is what we get from the fracking process, in which you just referred to as used in the, it's preferred, you might say.
Correct, correct. The difference is dry natural gas would be typically what you would use in your dryer or to heat your home. Wet gas has got a lower percentage of methane than dry gas, and as a result, it has other byproducts in it like methane and, or ethane and butane. In the chemical industry process, what we do is we strip out the ethane and butane, and then we turn that into other products, particularly the ethane. And so wet gas is really what we would like to see, at least for manufacturing of our products. The dry gas, the advantage, of course, is it's used to feed our boilers and fire our boilers. And you know, for the chemical industry, after input cost, our number 2 and 3 cost are natural gas and electricity.
And when you say boilers, you mean for the generation of electricity?
Well, boilers for, you know, a lot of the chemical processes require a tremendous amount of heat. And so we produce a great deal of steam, and so we create the steam using boilers that are fired with natural gas, which then heat, you know, the various compressor units and so on. And as a result, that's how we produce a lot of the chemical products that we use.
And you were just mentioning before we started the interview that there's just a story about what, so basically the manufacturing sector of the economy, people who had moved jobs overseas are now bringing those jobs back to the United States and back to Illinois.
Well, and you know, one of the best examples I can show is a company that built a facility in Chile, and they went to Chile because of low natural gas prices, and decided that with the advent of fracking and low natural gas in the United States, they decided to tear down the whole facility in Chile, put it on barge, and ship it to Louisiana. The benefits to Illinois is, if you look at Illinois' chemical industry, virtually all of our major facilities are located along the waterways, along the Mississippi, Illinois, Des Plaines River, and that is because of access to barge coming out of Texas and Louisiana. So Texas and Louisiana are generally considered the big cracker states, where they bring in the wet natural gas, they crack it, and then they turn it into other products that they ship up north to our facilities. Now, we do have a cracker here in Illinois that has done a major expansion in Morris, Illinois, recently, to take advantage of natural gas prices. If fracking takes off in southern Illinois to the extent that folks think it may, we've had two companies contact us about possibly locating facilities in southern Illinois in the next 5 to 10 years. Cracker type facilities to get access to that natural gas. You know, the one advantage Illinois has that nobody can take away from us is we're located in the heart of the country. And so if you're making product and you want to ship product, Illinois is a great place to be.
Well, and not only that, we have two of the largest rivers, the Ohio and the Mississippi. So you have that great infrastructure as well as the Great Lakes on Lake Michigan as far as shipping out to the rest of the
Well, and you know, the rail infrastructure, the highway infrastructure, we have more truck registrations in Illinois and Indiana than any place else. We have more rail yards and miles going through Illinois than any other state than Texas. So if you know, from a logistics standpoint, if you want to ship to your customers, Illinois is a great place to manufacture your product, especially when you've got, you know, access to natural gas, you've got very inexpensive electricity, you've got low logistics cost. You know, notwithstanding some of the shortcomings our state has, Illinois is a pretty good place to be right now if you're a manufacturer.
You mentioned that over the last few years, exports from your industry have gone up about 70% to, I think you said, $8 billion.
8.5, yes.
Has there been a corresponding increase in employment within the industry?
Well, what's interesting is actually the employment in the industry has stayed steady. It's approximately 45,000 people. But the number of people that supply the industry has grown from about 199,000 10 years ago to about 250,000 today. So for every job in the facilities, there's about 6 to 7 jobs that, you know, in some cases used to be at the facilities that no longer are, they've been farmed out, or people who supply the industry with various products. So there's been growth really more on the indirect side than the direct side.
And as we talk, just you mentioned electricity the other day. I read that across the country, I think 150 coal-fired plants are being shut down. We would, we need to have some kind of a replacement
Absolutely.
for that. Otherwise, we're going to be running short of electricity.
Right.
I think the natural gas, if I am correct, would probably be the best candidate for replacing the coal-fired plants.
In many cases, natural gas will replace coal. Now, we're a firm believer in all of the above, that nuclear, coal, natural gas, wind should all be part of the equation. But yeah, very likely in many cases for emission control reasons that you're going to see probably natural gas replacing a lot of coal-fired facilities. Right now, there's a tremendous amount of natural gas that's not even being collected, particularly in areas like the Bakkens up in North Dakota, where they flare it off every night because the infrastructure is not there just yet. But according to the state of North Dakota, when they build out their pipeline infrastructure, most of that natural gas will be collected and very likely is going to end up in the upper Midwest in Chicago.
I was just going to say, I've seen these photographs that are taken from outer space, and you look on the western North Dakota where there's no population to speak about there, and it's almost as bright as one of the major cities in America because of all the natural gas being burned off. When we do the fracking in Illinois, do we need a corresponding upgrade in the infrastructure? Do we need pipelines that are going to be going in that are not going to be part of the chemical industry, but would be facilitating the development?
Yeah, I very likely, if fracking takes off the way I think it's anticipated it will, the infrastructure will come with it. When folks see that, yes, the oil production and natural gas production is there, the infrastructure will come to move the product. I have no doubt. It's never in a producer's best interest to burn off some of their products. So, as quickly as they can build out the infrastructure, I'm pretty confident they will.
What's the attitude right now within the industry? I mean, we so often there's been so much bad news about the economy in a variety of ways. When you talk to the various people in the business, what is their attitude as far as the economy and looking forward? I
would say this is the most exciting time to be in the chemical industry in Illinois or the United States that I've ever seen in the last 20 years, and maybe the last 50. When I go to meet with my peers, everybody is talking about the potential opportunities as a result of low natural gas and electricity and what it means for the United States. I visited over 100 plants in the state of Illinois in the last year and a half. Virtually all of them are filling old positions, creating new spots, and I was stunned at the level of investment as far as people investing in their facilities for the long term. All very positive.
And do you hear any, this may not be your area of expertise, but as far as what you know, how long would it take, generally speaking, before we could see maybe some fracking development down in Southern?
Oh, I would be surprised if we don't see something in at least the next year and a half. Keep in mind, when natural gas was $13, that was 5 years ago, and it dropped to $1.90. And the Bakkens in North Dakota, it's taken about 5 to 10 years for it to fully develop. Really, the last 5, it's really exploded, and it's just not there. It's the Marcellus in Pennsylvania, the Utica in Ohio, Haynesville down in Louisiana, Eagleford in Texas. These are all areas where it's all kind of taken off in the last 5 years. And so if folks think that there's an opportunity to do well down there, I think it will grow rather quickly.
Do you happen to know within Southern Illinois, I mean, we use that as a regional phrase, but are there specific areas where this exploration may take place?
Yeah, primarily it's going to be southeastern Illinois, kind of that Robinson, Illinois area south. And then it will go along the Indiana border. So it's going to be predominantly in that area. But it's also traditionally where most of the oil in Illinois has been found in the past. Most folks forget that during World War II, Illinois was the 4th largest oil-producing state in the country. We've had a history of producing oil in the state for a number of years. The problem has been getting it out of the ground economically. Now with the new technology and the ability to do hydraulic fracturing the way they do, they know it's there. It's just a matter of getting it out of the ground.
Well, as you said earlier on, this could be a game changer for the state, for Southern Illinois. And Mark Biel, we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us about what it means for the Illinois economy.
Thank you, Terry. Appreciate it. Thanks.
You're watching the Illinois Channel, an independent nonprofit corporation formed to provide gavel-to-gavel coverage of Illinois state government and other public affairs events taking place across Illinois.